Hello, everybody. It's me, Teddy the Drag Queen, once again with the Royal Voluntary Service, bringing you another makeup tutorial. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Oh my goodness, she's got no makeup on. And there's a reason for that. So eyes are normally done before I put the rest of my slap on. So I thought I'd give you an authentic experience today. Also, as well, I'm going to be doing two versions. So I'm going to be doing a drag eye on this side. And on this side, I'm going to be doing something a little bit more pedestrian, a little bit more, if you don't want to do a drag eye, you can then see, I can give you some tips and tricks about how to make your own eyeshadow pop. Also as well, just like last time, if for any reason I am concentrating or I'm sort of sat there sort of not saying anything, I might be checking the messages. So if I'm not saying anything, don't worry, but I should try to be as comprehensive as always. So first things first, whenever you're going to do a drag eye, and I'm going to do that one first, we are going to get rid of my eyebrow and try and make it vanish. So easiest thing that you need for that is, and this is the same for your own eyebrows as well. So if you ever want to get rid of your sort of how you can see, obviously, as my eyebrow, it tails down. So the first thing you need for this is Elmer's purple glue. It's wonderful. It's fabulous. We always love it. And then you need one of these, a spoolie. So the first thing you're going to do is, I'm going to take my little trusty mirror here as well. So I'll do it in the mirror. Is you're going to take your spoolie and you're just going to brush the hairs of your eyebrow, just so that not matted or anything like that. And I've actually found that by doing it this way, you also as well, it sort of gives them sort of growth and stuff, and you can start shaping them in a really nice way. And if you've got any trouble spots, obviously my trouble spots like around here, as you can see, I've got a lovely white or grey eyebrow strand hair, and then it just gives you do the other side as well, just gives you just makes them a little bit more shaped around and ready to go. Okay, so now that you've done that, now you've brushed them, you can then go on to oh, hi Irene. You can then go on to physically gluing them down. Now, I'm not going to be doing the whole brow, as I'm going to be using this part of my brow and I'm going to be extending up. But I'm going to get rid of this part of my brow. So what I'm going to do is grab my Elmer's glue, and then it's absolutely safe. There's nothing nothing toxic about it or anything like that. It's absolutely fine to go on hairs. People have been doing it for years. And you just grab the glue and you just plaster it on there. Plaster it onto the section that you want it on. And don't worry about any of the fallout or anything like that. And you are just going to plaster, plaster, plaster. So as you can see, this whole section now is in purple, which is lovely, which is what we want to see. We then grab our spoolie and we then brush those hairs up. And as you can see, the glue is drying as we go. And obviously in this very hot weather, it would dry very quickly. Now, we want the hairs up and out the way. And as you can see, they're now there. So you're then going to do that 2 more times. And you're going to just want to get that glue stick in there, really. And try and get rid of all the air pockets and everything else. So as you can see, I have done that. Got rid of all of that. And then you will need to wait for it to dry, but while you're waiting for it to dry, you can then get rid of the fallout. So, and at each section that you do another layer of glue, you do need to let the one before dry, else it can turn into a bit of a sticky mess. So just get a wet wipe. Like I say, it comes off really easily. And then you just, and don't worry about sort of the redness here. That's just because I've been going at it with a spoolie. And then hopefully, oh no, that's still a bit tacky. So you just need to wait for that to dry. Once that's dry, you can then go in again with that last layer of glue. Good morning. Oh, hello. Thank you for watching us from Manchester and also Hampshire as well. Oh, we're international honeys today, aren't we? So we're just waiting for this section of glue to dry. Once that's sort of dry and not tacky anymore, and you will be able to tell because as I rub my finger, you can see my finger is sort of slightly getting glued to it. So we're just going to wait for that to dry for a little bit. And then hopefully, if I've done it correctly, it will vanish and you won't be able to see it. I hope everybody is surviving in this hot weather. Where I am, where it's already 26 degrees at 11 o'clock, so that's an awful high temperature for that time. And you might be able to hear a fan in the background. If you do, don't worry, that's just my fan, just so I can keep myself cool. Okay, that's dried enough. So we go in again one more time with our glue stick, and we just 1, 2, just get that glue onto that brow, and then one last time with the spoolie, we just go in there, and then we wait for that to dry. And again, we just clear up any fallout or anything like that that's gone on. Because obviously, when you put the rest of your makeup on around this area, you're not going to want to get, it to be sort of messed up in the eye or anything like that. So we just got rid of all of that. Wonderful. And then what we're going to do, we're going to prep the rest of the eyebrow. Now, like I said, we are using this part of my brow. So we just want to make sure that part of my brow is ready. So we're just going to get that spoolie in there. It might have some glue on it. That's absolutely fine, because we just want to make sure that those brows are up and out and ready to be dealt with. And then, I think that's actually on my skin, not on my hair. Okay, so when the glue is dry, you'll be able to pat it, and it will sort of create a almost like a plastic dry feeling as well, and you'll also be able to feel it on your face. So for instance, you can pat it and it won't it sort of won't move, but also sort of give it a sheen and stuff as well. So yes, we shall wait. I'm going to be doing a green eye today, 2 different sections of green eye. So obviously one more drag, one more general. So if you do want to have the same palette as I am, I'll be using the Taboo palette from Be Perfect. It's a lovely palette actually, and it has all those bright colours, but we're going to be using this sort of nice lime green in there. Then we're going to be adding onto it as well. So I just, yeah, that's all done. Okay, so then the vanishing aspect of the brow. So you're going to be wanting a flat concealer brush for this. And to cover mine, I use the wonderful Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have to do that, aren't I? Like all the makeup people. It's Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer. It is so lovely, so nice, and it's also the primer we're going to be using for our base eyeshadow as well. So take that concealer brush, get that eye primer on, and then you are going to pat the product onto your brow. Do not swipe, do not swish, pat the product on there. And the reason why you pat it on is because it covers your hairs so much more. See, look, completely gone. Completely gone. Just looks like my face. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the rest of this on here, and we're just going to do the entire eye in the eye primer. Reason for using eye primers, they're lovely sort of bases for you to use as well. So just go into your eye with the eye primer and just sort of all over that socket, all over all sort of here as well. And just make sure that that eye is completely covered in eye primer. It just gets the eye ready for more makeup, really. So I'm just going to make sure that I haven't got a gap. Oh, no. It's when looking in the phone and when looking on the in the mirror is very different. So just keep patting, so you're getting rid of that hair. Lovely. And as you can see, really, I've done a great job today because you can not even see it, and it looks as though it's blended in with my eye makeup. Anyway, if you just want to sharpen up that line underneath the actual brow, you can do. Not a biggie. Obviously, I'm only showing you an aspect of a brow today. I'm not showing you a full face. So it might look a little bit weird, but once it's all come together, you will understand. So then we're going to create the brow. And we're using the NYX Professional Makeup Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. These are really inexpensive, unlike the last product, which is quite expensive. You can also use other concealers and primers and stuff as well. I've just found that the Anastasia is the best for covering brow, and it is a little bit tacky as well. But we go in with the NYX Cosmetics. We do my lovely little, whatever that is. Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. This is in the color Brunette. They do 6 colors. Auburn, Caramel, Brunette, Espresso, Chocolate, and I can't remember the other one. But what we're going to do is with this, and the wonderful thing about brow pens is that you can sort of sculpt a brow and it not be as thick as a pomade. I will be using a pomade for this side of the eye because most people use a pomade. They don't use it to elongate or anything else. They just use it to fill in. So what we're going to do, and it's going to be very fun for me as well because this is the first time I'm using this product. So what we're going to do is you're wanting to trace the line of where your brow was. And then you're wanting to put a little thing like that there. Look. So, and then I'm going to do the same thing this way. I'm going to close it off. There we go. And then we will colour this in with our brow pen. And again, like I said, don't worry about sort of for right now, oh, they've got a bit of thing up here, or they've got, that would all be covered by the foundation that I use or the highlight that I use later on for the rest of my face. So I'm just going to paint, colour in the rest of this brow. And as you can see, the wonderful thing about brow pens, and brows have to be very specific, is that you can just go in and just lightly feather and lightly touch your eyebrow. And then, if I do this correctly, and also we will be going in with a powder just to make sure that that is completely set properly. But as you can see, I've elongated my eyebrow out and I've now got all of this space here able to use for then, whereas before I would have cut off there. So I only would have had a minimum amount. Now I've got all of this space here. If I wanted to go up here, I could go all the way up here. So we just finished colouring in this brow and then we're going to powder it. And just make sure, I like flicks. Some people like Spock brow or Spock brow just all the way over. So once we've done that and we're happy with that, I think I am, she says, as she's adding more to it. Yeah, we're happy with those brows. Okay, so that is again the brow pen. As you can see, very nice, very light, all of that. And it's completely elongated. So if you were to it's completely elongated that section of my face. So now we're going into the eyeshadow. And as I said, I'm going to be using the Lime eyeshadow from the Taboo palette. So you're wanting, it depends on what kind of eyeshadow you're wanting to do. First, for me, I always like to pack that colour on. Lime can be quite difficult to do. So you're wanting sort of a flat brush like this. And then you're going to go into the eyeshadow. Really go for it, really. You always want to tap your brush because that gets rid of any massive excess. And then when you're putting on your eyeshadow, it then doesn't sort of translate further down onto your eye. And obviously, this is also part of the reason why we always do eyes first, because it just means that if you did have a set in here of highlight or whatever, it means that then it doesn't transfer down. And obviously some colors like blue, some colors like browns and nudes and all that, it's not massive, but some colors like blues and reds and pinks, that can really distort your lower makeup as well. So we just make sure that whenever we're doing an eye, we do it first, we do it away. And as you can see, obviously now I've got a lot of space to do whatever I want with. So just building up that green, and we're just going to go in and we're just going to follow the line of the eyebrow. And you're almost wanting to keep this this line above it clear. The reason you do that is because it just makes your brows a little bit more defined from your makeup, from your from the rest of you. And then you can go in later with a sort of a white powder over the top. So as you can see, I'm packing on the green, and already you can see, boom, we're here, we're there. If you wanted to elongate out, you could do so. I could keep going, and keep going and keep going if I wanted to. And I could sort of come down the rest of my face if I wanted to. But as you can see, the lovely lime green, obviously being placed on top of the primer, just make sure that you're getting the actual color of it and not sort of a diluted version, because obviously if you don't conceal or prime your eyelid, it's going to only look at your eye. So if there's something on here that isn't, let's say you're doing a lilac or one of the pastel colors, and technically this color is quite pastely, you need a base for it in order for it to stay sort of in that place, really. And for it also to show up as well. You don't want to be doing all that work on an eye, not. So now we've put down our base color, we're just going to make sure that that's really rich. Keep going in there, keep patting it on, brushing it in, making sure that every time that you pick up some powder that you just tap the brush so you don't get that massive fallout. Make sure your eyelid is really done as well. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. As you can see, we've just gone for basically like a green shape. We could also bring it in down here, so I'm going to bring it in a bit down here as well, just to fill out that section. And then also as well, there is a little thing about making shapes with eyeshadow. You can, if you want to. I always like a little symmetrical triangle-esque type. But it's eyeshadow, it's fun, do whatever you want with it. Okay, so we've done that. And now we're going to put in another color into it as well. So there's two ways of doing this, and there's two schools of thought. So if I just want to put something on my lid, I can remove the color that I've got on my lid, and I can then put concealer on, pat that in, and then put it on top. However, what you can also do is, this is when I don't have it to hand, even though I know I brought it downstairs. Oh, no, it's here. You can then also just use a concealer on top of what the section you're going to do and add something else in. So I'm going to do that. It just adds just a little bit of like fun and frivolity. So the concealer I'm going to use today is Kimchi the Most Concealer. You can buy this from Beauty Bay. It's a little bit expensive for a concealer, but it is really, really good. Also, it's made by Drag Queen, so you know the coverage is always going to be full. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take your concealer. You're going to find a concealer brush. and just place the concealer on there. It does come with its own little brush, as you can see. Ooh. As you can see, however, sometimes that is a bit dangerous. So we just take our little concealer brush, a different one from what we used before, and we're just going to go in on that lid. And as you will see, it will start to change the colour of the shadow. And then you can do whatever you want really with this. So if you wanted to, you could take it up and out, or you can just sort of have it just around sort of your main eye area like that. So as you can see now, it almost, and also some people just leave it like that. So you can, if you want to, just leave it like that. I'm just going to add a bit more because I want to just do around the, there we go. So then this is perfect for, as you can see, my little area. And I want it to be quite jaggedy, really. Rolling that up slightly. Now this is perfect for another colour, or I'm just going to check the chat 1 second. You will be able to watch this again, Dorothy. You'll just be able to find it on the Royal Voluntary Service page as well. So don't worry, you can always watch it on replay later on. You don't need to watch it live if you don't want to. So this is now perfect for another colour. Or what I love to do is a glitter. So grab and the best way to put glitters on is with your fingers. Best one, your fourth finger. So grab your fourth finger. Technically, it's the third finger. And then you're just going to pat that in to that section that you've just made with the concealer. Now, this glitter isn't necessarily going to give you anything more it's only going to show you a highlight there. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to use a different palette to give you a proper look. So this is the Nikki Tutorials palette with Beauty Bay. It's a really good palette. The glitters on it are fabulous as well. So I'm just going to take this. Again, always use your fourth finger. That always works better. And then just tap that on there. Put that on there. Just so, again, you're building up the different colours and you're building up the different dimensions of each eyeshadow. Now in this light, you might not be able to see it, but we're now in a green and a gold. So what we're going to do now is we're now going to blend those together. So get a fluffier brush, like this one. And then you're just going to, and as actually you can see, as I am blending that together, oh, just put myself in the eye. Wonderful. You can then, oh, I've got some more chat. You can then see that this gold is then really starting to take shape and take ownership of the area that we gave it. If you want to, you can go for even a darker colour on there as well. Oh, that's a bit better, especially on camera. There we go. And just make sure it's just all about every time you put something down, just make sure it's sort of blended out very nicely and you're covering all areas really nicely and everything else. So as you can see, that's one area done. Now, we go back in with our other brush that we used when we put our base on, And just to finish it off, we tap the end of it. Make sure the end is full. And then all you're going to do is you're just going to fill in that section, just so that eye is just completely finished off. And that's the eyeshadow portion of it done. Then what we're going to do, once we've got our eyeshadow done and we're really happy, we're then going to move on to mascara, eyeliner, and an eyelash. So grab your mascara. I use the Bad Girl Bang from Benefit, but just automatically just gives you such gorgeous lashes. I'll put you over here. Come on. Like I said, the Bad Girl Bang from Benefit. This does come in at around £27, I believe, but it's the best mascara I've ever used for any makeup look I've done. Mascara is obviously a moment of very much concentration because, as you can see, my lashes are now lifted up. So once we've done that, once they're all happy, we then add our eyeliner. Now, I add eyeliner to my waterline and I add eyeliner to the top bit here. So grab your eyeliner pencil. And put it on your waterline. Now, some people don't think that you should do this. I do. It just brings your eye completely. And for somebody with like me who has small eyes, adding that waterline just brings out the eye completely. So, I'm just going to keep adding that there. Lovely. And then what we do, we're going to get ready for our lash. So, the eyeliner pencil was, I believe, just from Boots, a real cheap 125. I've had it for absolute years. Not very expensive, does a great thing. And then I've got the Kyliner. Yeah, the Kyliner from Kylie Cosmetics. Again, this is a little bit more expensive for you to buy. Any other eyeliner, like liquid eyeliner, is fine. It's just really there to help you with your lash that you're going to put on in a moment. So grab your Kyliner. Make sure it's nice and ready. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put a black line over the top of your lid. This is a guide for your lash. And also what it does as well is that when you take off that lash later, the glue isn't on your skin, it's on the eyeliner. And just try as much as possible to go straight over. And there you have it. So, obviously that's taken years of practice. So don't worry if you can't do it straight away. And then we're going to be putting on our lash. So, my lashes are from Shein. I'm unsure what the model number is or anything like that. So we shall just keep moving. And then what we do is, so my glue that I'm using today is Duo Glue. This is Gold Dust. If anyone can hook a girl up, please let me know. So you take your Duo Glue, obviously, put it on. Make sure you've got enough on there. put the glue on, and then just got to let that glue dry. The big thing about strip lashes is you've just got to let that glue dry a little bit first before they, yeah, you just got to let it, just so it gets tacky just before, and then you can move on. Ooh. Okay, Dorothy, thank you very much. So you can blow on them, you can have a little, sometimes I use a little hairdryer. So now they should, fingers crossed, be sort of tucky enough just to be placed on. So I'm going to place that on. We're all going to pray to the makeup gods, and hopefully it doesn't move. And there we go. And then as you can see, that lash is just lifting that eye up. Next thing after the lash is on, secured, you can, if you want to, grab a hairdryer and shove the eyelash up, just so that sort of it dries in a certain place. And then we go back in with our mascara. Going back in with our mascara, we're just going to make sure that both sets of lashes are in the right place. And then all you do, get your finger, and sort of force them together. Just so it gives you the illusion that you have one set of lashes. And as you can see, there we go. And that's our drag sort of look done. And I am just going to check my microphone. Yeah. And then we're going to move on to our non-drag eye, so slightly more pedestrian. And looking at myself in the camera, I look like a crazy person. So what you're gonna start off with this time. Obviously we're going to be doing a coloured eye again, but I'm going to do blue. So blue is always, I think, one of the best colours for anybody to wear. It's very, very feminine as well. So we're going to get a lovely blue from our Spectre palette from Vivian, who won RuPaul's Drag Race Season 1 UK. And we're going to be using this blue here. Don't know why, I just think blue is just a lovely colour to put on. So we're going to start with actually our concealer this time. And we're just going to put it on any which way. And the reason why we're doing the eye first is because the eyebrow can come later because we're not blocking anything. So we've put our concealer on. This gives us a great base for our makeup. We're just going to make sure that that's all over. And this time as well, we're going to use more the oval shape of my eye. So I'm just making sure that that is all done. This is just a little sponge brush, and what they do is they just sort of move the product around without sort of adding anything. They sort of absorb some of it as well. So these are great little tools. Again, you can buy most of them just online or anything. Just going to do that. Just so the makeup's got somewhere to sit. Okay. So, then we're going to apply our product. So again, we get that brush in. That's you'll clean it first on a surface, and really because it's powder, it doesn't need to be on a wet wipe. Probably not use a wet wipe. Just use a bit of tissue. Then again, you're going to pack that product really in. Tap it once again to get rid of any excess, and then you're just going to go in. Now, obviously, because my eye is slightly oval, I'm going to follow the shape of my eye. I'm going to do an oval shape. And obviously, you follow the shapes of your eyes. So you're going to take this, and I always like to just follow the shape of the eye and go in. So we know that this here is just going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous blue. And if you want to go a bit bigger with it, you can do, but always making sure that that is covered. There we go. See, gorgeous already. So we then keep adding on this eyeshadow. And again, if this shape is a bit too big for you, you can do something a little bit less. You can go for a smaller eye. You can go you can go for a smaller eye, or you can do, anything. And I'm not going to really do too much with this, really. This is just going to be quite a nice, simple blue eye. And then obviously we take it in down here. And we just make sure that the shapes we're making are sort of similar. So there we are. So then what you're going to do is you're going to again take your finger, and over the lid, you're just going to do, I just do a basic sort of white over there. The finger really is great. Just to get those glitters on. And then you're going to get your bigger, fluffier brush, and you're just going to blend those. You're just going to blend that out. Just so, again, you've not got any. And you can blend the two colours together. It sometimes gives you a nice little bit. Cute. We're then going to do our brows with our pomade. So grab a little fluffy brush. If I can find mine. There we are. So grab your little fluffy brush. Make sure that it's ready. Thing I found about pomades as well is that if the brush is a bit wetter, that's sort of more beneficial. So, and then gather your product, and then all you're going to do is you're going to follow where your brow is. So you're going to get this. You're just going to follow where the brow goes, and then fill in the brows as you go. Oh, and I've gone over a little bit, so I should clean that up in a second. Should really. She said, there you go, gone. And then you just refill in if anything's come off. And there you go. There is your sort of, how quick and easy was that? And what it also does as well is that you've got that makes my eye that is quite small looks quite big. And with the pomade as well, it just gives that a nice sort of, that whole sort of section now looks really nice and done and finished. Then again, we're going to move in with our eyeliner. So we're just going to pop it onto our waterline. Oh. And then we're going to do our mascara. And then we're going to do our other eyeliner that we're going to put on our other lash. And the reason why I love this mascara so much is it just gets into the smallest of crevices and is able to just completely get in there. So we've done our mascara. Now we're going to do our eyeliner. Again, with the same product. Now, sometimes with this, I won't put a lash on because it does my own sort of lashes, as it were. Oh, and I've covered my eye. So I'm just going to wipe across. And my eye stops fidgeting. So there we go. Okay, wonderful. And then again, like our last time, we're going to get our lash, put the glue on, and then we're gonna pop this lash on now. The glue. Come on. So again, we're waiting for this lash to get this lash glue to get a bit tacky. Now, with me and my eyes, I have one small eye and I have a bigger eye than the other side. So I have to try and balance those out. Now, that can be sometimes quite difficult, but by doing that, the difficulty sometimes can be is just to try and make sure that they are balanced out together. So what I normally do is I put this eyelash as much possible to the corner of this eye because this is my bigger eye, and then the other one to try and match it. I've done it the other way this today, so we'll see. Okay, so take our lash, should be tacky enough now. I'm just going to do it into the mirror. Place it on there, and we're just going to try and go into that corner as much as possible. And everybody does have eyes that are one's bigger than the other one. And they're slightly different shapes. Oh, and we've not done a bad job today, people. As with any makeup, it is always sometimes the luck of the draw. Some of the shapes are slightly different, so I'm just going to move it along. There we go, that's better. And sometimes your closed eye isn't the same shape as your open eye. And you can put your lash on an eye opened if you so wish. That needs to be just a tad. And yes, sometimes it takes an awfully long time to get these lashes in place. But that will be fine for me. So, and actually just highlighting even more so the difference of sizes of my eyes. And there you are. Then we're going to do exactly the same thing again. We're going to bond those eyelashes together with our mascara. And there we have it. And that is the end of our little tutorial today. If anybody's got any questions or anything, now is your time. As you can see, both styles are very interesting. Both styles are very different. If you're ever doing your brows, just remember that your brows are sisters, not twins. Naturally, they're not equal. Sometimes your eye shapes aren't equal either. So yeah, just remember, don't be too hard on yourselves. It does take practice. It does take time as well, as will any makeup, as does any creative thing. So just make sure that you aren't, yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. It's hard work. I do have some. Oh no, yeah, that's perfect. I've got no questions. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm sure we'll be back very soon with more makeup secrets from the drag closet. And until next time, thank you very much. Bye.